Welcome to the Sulk stream. I'm your host, the incredible Sulk. How you guys doing tonight? I hope we're doing well, doing fantastic, getting good sleep. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight is how the nature of sleep has changed over the years, over the centuries. It's very interrupted these days, and I might have something to do with that. I don't care, though. I have no regrets. It's also Friday, so what are you doing sleeping on a Friday anyway? You should be out partying, living your youth up. Right? Right? No one goes out and drinks anymore. I mean, I do. No, I don't. I wish I did. I don't. But if somebody gives me the opportunity, I will. I will go out. If you're buying drinks, I'll be like, okay, I have to do this. It's for work. And it'll be somewhat true. It'll be somewhat true. But that's all it needs to be, is somewhat true. We're going to be talking about the medieval sleep patterns of peasants and kings and lords and the like. So I hope you guys are ready for some straw beds and feather beds and bed bugs and ghosts. I'm sure ghosts. I don't think they have ghosts anymore. I think they eradicated them in the summer of 1980-something when the Ghostbusters came around. They got too efficient at it, and now all the ghosts are endangered. Killing souls, that's what they were doing. Just like the second Ghostbusters did. It killed everybody's soul. So I hope you guys are ready. Remember, this is a Friday, so I don't care. I don't care. It's Friday, I don't care. I don't care. Okay? We're going to go a little bit overtime today because I got a little bit of premium to mop up, but it's only going to be maybe 10 or 15 minutes. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it rolls. Okay? So I hope you guys will be there with me. And if you're poor, I'm sorry about that. Maybe somebody will donate a gift, a premium subscribership to you. It's only $5. It's $5 a month. $5. You can't make $5. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So get ready, get comfy, get cozy, grab a nice mead. Do you guys have mead? I'm not drinking tonight. I don't have anything in the house. And it's okay because I went baller last weekend. So I kind of need to sharpen up for the summer, you know? I gotta tighten up. Those beach pics are gonna look good, right? The six-pack is gonna rock. I'm going to be muscly on the beach. It's going to be sick. Just you wait. I'll share them with you all. It's going to look like that wolf with the tiny nipples. Oh, it's going to be yo right here. Anyways, get your swords ready. Get your stable boys. Maybe not stable boys. Don't be weird with it. Don't get weird with it. What else medieval stuff do you want to bring to the table? I don't know. Other things like that. People? Slaves? Do you guys have slaves? Oh, man, I miss slaves. I wish I had slaves. Yeah, I have no qualms about being like, you know how a lot of people are like, man, if I was back then, I would release all the slaves and I'd be part of the underground. They were freeing slaves. I'd be like, yeah, I'd be a slave owner back then. Or back then, I'd be like, yep, I'd be a Nazi. Most people were Nazis. And so I don't want to go too far out of the norm. So yeah, sure, I'd be a Nazi. Oh, you'd be the hero? Would you be the hero? Oh, I bet you would. You kind of seem like a Nazi now, but whatever. Whatever. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming. Get ready. Get prepared. Get a nice hat and some sleeping pajamas. Those are important. Fill your bongs with whatever you see fit. I know this is the kind of vibe we went with tonight. Salvia. If you have salvia on hand, I want you to smoke all the salvia you have. And then really populate the chat. Like, really be in there. I want to see what you're up to. Anyways, again, it's Friday. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. And this is called How Medieval People Had the Best Sleep in History. Enjoy. Changing vibes like that. See? It's like that. I'm trying to.
Ever wonder why modern sleep feels so broken? We have the best mattresses, the
I'm like a
quietest
4-year-old.
rooms, and endless advice. Yet people still wake up exhausted.
If this bores us, we'll move on somewhere else. I don't care. Again, I don't care.
Evil folks, on
It's
the
Friday.
other hand, had a sleep pattern that worked so well, it might just be the best in history.
Arden Shara says, I'm still playing Balatro. Haven't slept yet. Good luck, sir.
The secret?
Good luck.
Let's find out. If you've ever woken up at 2 a.m. and spent hours staring at the ceiling, here's a surprising revelation. Medieval people would have considered...
Despite says, just finished installing my new Speed Queen industrial washer. So you're giving your wife meth now? Is that what you're saying? Is that like a roundabout joke? How like, oh, I call my wife my dishwasher, and now I put her on speed, so she really gets a lot of dishes done. That's thinking. That's using your noggin. I'm not going to lie.
Considered your sleeping pattern completely normal. In fact, they'd probably wonder why you weren't up doing something productive.
He's dead. The guy behind me, right? That's Heath Ledger. He died. He either found out too much or took too much, which both are equally possible.
With those peaceful midnight
Hey,
hours.
Monkey.
Medieval communities practiced what historians now call biphasic sleep. They slept in two distinct phases.
Two.
When darkness fell, they'd settle in for their first sleep, lasting about 4 hours. They'd then rise for approximately 2 hours before returning to their second sleep until dawn. During these midnight hours, medieval households came alive in subtle ways, sharing stories with his wife while monasteries
That's
recorded
that
monks
terrible
using this
movie.
time
What was
for
that
their
movie
deepest
called?
prayers.
What was that movie called? Your Highness or something like that. It's another one of Seth Rogen's stupid pot-centered movies. God, I get so tired of that. I get so tired. Wow, you smoke pot. That's great. That's really cool. I mean, is it though? Is it? When you make your entire personality about smoking pot and then everything one after another is a stupid pot joke. I get it. I mean, I get it. I understand the humor. It's just, it's stale. You're stale, Seth Rogen, and you're like 50 now, at least. So you making I'm smoking pot, you're turning into like a new Tommy Chong. And I know that sounds cool. It's not. It's not. Tommy Chong's a fucking burnout, okay? Yeah, he's got a lot of money for a burnout, but he's still a fucking burnout. Cheech, however, he really made something of himself. Fuck you, Seth Rogen.
Contemplation. Some people wrote letters by candlelight, others worked on crafts, and many simply sat in quiet conversation. These weren't considered interruptions to their sleep. They were essential parts of their daily rhythm. The original midnight oil wasn't burned because of procrastination. It was part of the plan all along. The midnight hours also served practical purposes in medieval communities. Town records show that craftsmen often used this time to check on their kilns or tend to slow cooking process.
So we're doing history tonight.
Bakers would start preparing their dough, taking advantage of the perfect fermentation time between sleeps. Even in wealthy households, these hours had their uses. Ladies using this time to catch up on their embroidery
I'm not going to lie to you.
the day's demands.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like the pace of that is already boring me. So I might just go ahead and go a completely different direction. What direction? I don't know. Here, let me look for a second.
Me time happened while everyone
I
else
know.
Their first sleep. What makes the sleep pattern fascinating is how natural it seems to be for humans. When researchers in the 1990s conducted experiments...
Here's the thing about sleep. Everyone stays up too late. That's the problem. Everyone's staying up way too late all the time. And it's the blue lights. These blue lights are part of like some sort of government conspiracy to destroy our sleep and like our hormones and stuff. Have you guys ever heard that? Like blue light is part of an MK Ultra type of thing to make you, it like changes your hormones, right? It changes your hormones. Is it true? Yeah, it could be true. It could definitely be true. Every light is kind of like predisposed to like a blue background, right? It doesn't have to be like that, but it is. It keeps you up longer. It kind of messes with your circadian rhythm. And I heard it changes your hormones. Lowers your testosterone more specifically, which makes a lot of sense because people who spend a lot of time on their screens tend to be a little flabby. I mean, maybe that's just sitting on their screens all the time, but maybe they're sitting on the screens all the time because they're too tired to do anything else, right? They just sit there and stare at the screen.
Experiments where people lived without artificial light for several weeks participants naturally fell into the same two-phase sleep pattern. Their bodies automatically adjusted to what...
Let's see what else Papa Meat has.
And it was used to house...
Let's see what Papa... I want to look more into Papa Meat. It's a gross sounding name, but I haven't come across his channel before. The Chinese cult hiding in America. No. Freak shows profiting off the disabled. There we go.
Wait before we get into the video.
There we go. Profiting off. Everybody likes to profit off the disabled, right? It is the backbone of the American economy. When we started, we had slaves, and they came from an entire continent of disabled people. And now we have like, after that, we had women go into like the workforce, right? They're disabled. And then now we kind of ran out of disabled people to take advantage of. I mean, we had these things like freak shows pop up, which were really lucrative. And we still kind of have those to a certain degree. My 600-pound life and stuff is a freak show. Don't get it wrong. It's a freak show. But now we actually have to actively make disabled people in order to take advantage of them. So you have your shots, your vaccines, you have your blue light, you have your fluoride in the water. All this contributes to making you a dumb fuck retard that's easy to take advantage of. So here we are in the future, and we're all slaves. Good.
We're doing a subathon right now on twitch.tv, live right now. All in order to raise money for a new production barn so we can do more sets, more puppets, bigger stuff. We're live after you watch this.
Okay, Papa Mean. All right, calm down, bro. Calm. Get a haircut. Get a fucking haircut. And calm down, bro. All right? Can you just... It's Friday. I don't want to have these vibes going into the weekend. All right, dude? You got this weird Hagrid kind of vibe going to you, which, again, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. It's cool. If you really lean into it, if you really roll with it, then I can appreciate the Hagrid thing, right? You're a wizard, Harry. If you started saying shit like that a lot more. But Hagrid was calm, and he was a gentle giant. You seem like a spaz. Don't be a spaz, brah.
Go watch, support the Barnathon. Twitch.com/meatcanyon.
Stocknot says, whoa, hold up. This isn't a freak show? I never said that. Did I say that? No. Most of my show is responding to you guys in the chat, so of course it's a freak show.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Coming in.
Obedience says he looks like the Pringle guy and Hagrid fused. No, the Pringle guy is dapper, sir. The mustachioed Pringle man, and he's very white. I hope they redo his entire thing for DEI, and then the Pringle guy's like black with a fro. I think that'd be hilarious. I wouldn't buy the product, but I think it'd be funny.
Not down, because today we're talking about freaks, or as we like to call people nowadays, TikTokers, or people on Instagram Reels.
I call them LGBT.
But before you had entertainment at the little tips of your fingers, we had a little thing in the...
Onia says, you said on Daywave you wanted to see a horse taser. Best I can do is a bear taser. Okay, all right. You've tickled my fancy. That's from Halo. Is that a Halo gun? Hold the phone. That looks sick, all right? Oh my God, dude. Imagine tasing a slave with that. You'd really keep your slaves in line. Oh. God, it's like BioShock, right? It looks BioShocky. I understand the science of electricity. I don't, but I'm going to say I do. But it looks BioShocky. Oh. Do not replicate. This video is for scientific purposes. Okay.
I live in the Pacific Northwest. We're a culture of intense summer fun followed by 6 months of hibernation during a time that we collect.
Remember, I'm disabled too. In a whole array of things. I mean, I should sign up for some sort of government check or something like that. I don't know. I'm not swirling enough to get a government check, though. There's a swirl meter inside the office, the welfare office, and you have to swirl a certain amount. And if you don't swirl and have a mess of kids, then you're not getting it.
People like to call the dark wet.
But once the brightening wet begins
Stocknod says, LOL, Daddy has a taser boner. Mm-hmm.
to hit, something miraculous happens. People crawl out of their caves and reanimate into hipster naturalists, living in a van down by the river, also known as it's springtime, so let's enjoy nature and go camping.
But with nature comes nature. Bears, cougars, Bigfoot, one of which I recently had a run-in with.
So after a bit of 3D modeling, a couple voltage multipliers, and some notoriously sticky resin, my solution, the Bear Blaster 5000.
That's going to get you ripped to pieces. That's going to get you absolutely murdered. If you use that as an actual self-defense weapon against a bear, you will die immediately and horribly. You will get your face ripped off like the Revenant. You might get raped. You might get bear raped, right? That can't be pleasant. And he's not going to leave you alive to go rat on him. You will die immediately. But I am the taser guy, right? I do like me a good taser. So let's see what it can do.
This video is sponsored by Brilliant.
I have over 2 decades of high voltage expertise and experience building all types of high voltage devices. And this project used both decades of experience. Let's dig into it.
So for your own safety, why not just carry a gun when hiking and camping?
That's a cool gun. I'm not gonna lie, that lever action repeater right there, that's sick. That's sick.
First off, many countries don't allow gun ownership, so there's that.
That's
and in the
gay.
US,
That's gay. Why are you so gay, other countries? Why are the people from other countries in this chat? Why? Why so gay? Why is so gay? That's gay.
guns actually used to be recommended by the Washington Department of Fish and
Why can't I make it on YouTube? I don't understand. I said gay, and not the normal word I usually say on the moment I wake up. Like this. Faggot! That's how I wake up every morning. It's not always that. Sometimes it's the N-word. But it just depends on what kind of dream I'm having. Usually they're gay dreams.
wildlife, but in recent years, WDFW and the National Park Service recommend non-lethal
It's okay to be
deterrents
Christian?
such as
What's
bear
up?
spray instead.
That's because sometimes really large animals won't be stopped by just a few shots from a gun. Sometimes
Despite says 10mm Glock is perfect for bears. I don't know, man. You like a black bear? Sure. Like a grizzly bear, a 10mm probably won't do enough. If it has a switch on it, yeah, sure. But like you're going to need something a little meatier than that. But I've never been attacked by a bear. So what do I know?
it just pisses them off, and then you get mauled. I mean, you ever seen the movie Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Obedience says John's gay dreams are just with himself. Well, yeah. Could you imagine someone better? Didn't think so.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well for him. Bear spray, on the other hand, blinds while causing searing pain. A great deterrent, but perhaps not the only one.
Dude, getting bear sprayed would suck. Getting like just blasted with bear spray, like bear mace, that would really, really suck. And it probably would suck for days too, right? You can go and take a shower, like try to get as much of it off as possible. But like that capsaicin, when it gets in your skin, it's like there, dude. It'll tingle. It would just suck.
Instinctually, animals are trained to listen for signs of danger, such as the sound of lightning or tree.
Onia says masturbation is gay. You're playing with a wiener. Not only that, you're getting jerked off by a dude. I don't know if that's more gay or less gay. Less gay? Yeah. Less gay, but not by a lot. It's less gay, but it's not by a lot.
Branches snapping. The sharp crackling or popping nature of electrical discharges can be a particularly effective deterrent because it mimics those noises. So my plan is to design a handheld deterrent capable of ultra-high voltages and loud capacitive sparks multiple inches long.
Since this will be handheld and
Yeah, I give my wife the multiple inches. No, it's just one.
battery powered, really only one shape
It's
comes to
just
mind,
one.
and a very special circuit that'll fit inside
I'm
that shape
trying.
while producing.
All right, I get it. I
ridiculous
got what I got.
voltages.
Voltage multipliers. These take lower AC voltages and boost them up to very high DC voltages. I figure one can go in this top half, a second multiplier in the bottom half, and run them in reverse polarity so that one develops a positive charge while the other a negative. The battery and driving circuitry can be held in the handle, and sparks will jump between the output of the two multipliers right here. It should be easy to build the multipliers with 5 to 6 stages and produce individual outputs of at least 120 kilovolts.
Should be easy, and
120 kilovolts? That sounds like a lot. That sounds like a really, because like, what's your outlet in the wall? 120 volt, or is it kilovolt? Is it 120? Because that seems like it would kill you. That seems like it would kill you.
safe enough to use.
Design is everything, so I hopped onto Onshape per usual, and using my lightning gun as inspiration, I began bringing this shape into reality. I use Onshape exclusively for all my modeling work, and I'll leave a link down below for you to try it for free. I was really pleased with how this was turning out, so I shot it off to my Prusa to do all the labor while I ate chocolate and went for a walk. While I'm building the ultimate tool for self-defense, consider this. Enjoying nature.
I want chocolate. Hey, send me chocolate. Send me chocolate, please. Please send me chocolate. And if you have any baked goods, I'll take those too. I'll take them too.
In the modern era is infinitely safer than it would have been millions of years ago. For example, ancient bear lineage included the giant short-faced bear, which was one of the largest terrestrial mammalian carnivores to ever live. 6 feet tall at the shoulders normally and 12 feet tall when standing. And even though modern bears aren't directly
That would suck. That would be a problem.
descended from giant short-faced bears, they share a common...
Oh, but let's bring it back like we did the dire wolf, right? Because we need dire wolves again. That's what we need. There's no way they're going to get out of control because some like rich Chinese guy is going to want some weird prehistoric zoo and then have a breeding program for dire wolves. And oops, one day a pair gets out and then they just start ripping apart pandas and then they spread somehow. Come on. There's a way they're going to spread. Sneak onto airplanes or something. I know they're huge, but they'll wear the captain's hat. And then they come over to the Americas, and then we have a dire wolf problem. The same thing is going to happen with these giant short bear face things.
ancestor. All right, back to the bear taser.
Fat Geralt says, John really wants some X-Lax chocolate chunk cookies. Okay. Do it. Do it, queer. Do it. I dare you. I dare you. Because I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking devour them. And then I'm going to come on stream, and it's going to be really noisy and very painful for me. That'll show you. That'll show you.
I switched to rose gold because it felt more royal, and next up was to design the voltage.
It's okay to be Christian says, you're not getting my wife's cookies, John. Those are mine. I would actually love, like, if you sent me like a dozen of your wife's cookies, I would send you a dozen back of my wife's cookies, and then we could have some sort of adorable bake, you know, like pen pal kind of thing, where like you send me cookies, I send you, I don't know. She makes really good banana bread, which we were supposed to send to people, but it just kind of never manifested. That's her fault.
Multipliers. This included specialty high voltage diodes and capacitors. This is the completed voltage multiplier. My
Pretty sweet.
perfectionism took front and center
Pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie, bro. That's well made. Good on you.
on this one, and it's designed to be really compact.
From my experience, I was certain that this circuit would provide more than enough voltage for this project, so I took no delay in testing it. Taking the 10 kilovolt supply mentioned earlier and attaching it to the input leads, showtime. Let's give it some power. Really? Woo!
That seems pretty spicy, dude. That seems pretty spicy. I would that might this is gonna kill someone.
Yeah, that's juicy, but still not the length of spark I need.
It was a little underwhelming, so I submerged it in oil to ensure it's properly insulated. This helped a bit.
What about this time? Yeah, as you'd expect, there's an improvement. Maybe like 1.5 inches. But I need more. I still need more than...
But Mikey says that's a nice arc. That's a nice arc. I mean, that's a good arc. It's not enough, right? It's not enough.
1.5 inches.
I need sparks at least 2 inches
I want him to like accidentally tase himself and then he just wakes up hours later.
long per multiplier for this project to work, and this full wave multiplier, it still wasn't cutting it. I've used half wave multipliers for decades. They're great, and even though full wave multipliers are supposed to develop higher voltages, they require higher input current.
If you can't provide that current, these bog down and
Who is this guy? Plasma channel? I'm gonna sub to him.
perform like crap. That's likely the issue I was having. So I set out to build a more forgiving half wave.
I love these engineering channels. I'm a big fan of them. I would love to be able to build stuff like this. I just don't. I don't have the time, and I don't have like the technical follow through, and I'm also doing a million other things, and also I don't have the talent. That's probably the main issue. I just don't have the talent. Yes, I could probably develop the talent. That seems like an investment, though.
Here's the first. Designed to fit into the casing, it
It's okay, but Christian says she would love to, honestly. Do it! Do it and send me some fucking cookies.
can accept up to 15 kilovolt
Send me
input
some
and
fucking
should produce
cookies.
over 120,000 volts.
Now I've got a 6-stage half-wave multiplier. Will it perform
If
better?
you send me cookies with like your address on the, I'll send you cookies back. I'll put Jess in the kitchen, and I will watch her until she makes the cookies, and I'll send them right back.
Than a full wave? Well, I am prepared to find out.
Stonknot said you can say retarded, man. It's fine. Have I not? Have I not been saying retarded? Retarded. 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 Yeah, I'm saying it just fine. I think so. Am I muted? No? Okay.
Out.
Okay.
Oh, sexy.
Sexy. I agree. I agree. I mean, it's working out for him. And he's not a half bad looking guy, too, right? But he's like nerdy. But he's like good looking. And so, like, you know, women are into nerds if they're good looking and in shape. There you go, right? You can be into Magic the Gathering or like weird electrical stuff or whatever nerd bullshit you want to be if you're good looking enough. And then women are into it too, miraculously. You know why? Here's the secret. They like the things we tell them to like. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. You know how there's always women who are like really into like a certain thing, like F1 driving? Nope. That's not true. That's never been true. No, there's a guy that's telling her to like this specific thing that she thinks is attractive. And she wants to, you know, it's true. It's 100% true.
That's 2.5 inch arcs, and it's not even encased in resin yet. This is going to be epic. The results were super clear. A half-wave version is going to work so much better for this project than a full-wave version. Thank God, because full waves are a pain in the ass to make. So I got to work making a second half-wave.
While the first had a positive polarity, the second negative.
Well, there's really only one last test to do, and that's to run both multipliers in reverse polarity configuration, but with the same power source. This should develop about double the voltage out, and to spark a hell of a lot longer than just...
Aeneas? Okay, noted. He said you like this guy too. Okay, I'll take a look at him.
2.5 inches. At least that's what I'm banking on. 3, 2, 1, don't blow up. Oh!
I mean, you're running some risks here, right? If that hits him, it's going to hurt, right? And he's not insulated or like wearing gloves or anything like that. Maybe he's standing on a milk carton, you know, like one of those plastic milk cartons with, you know what I'm talking about. But whatever, maybe he just gets shocked a lot. And he's built up a resistance. Boom. You get it? Or am I grounded now? But thank you. I know. It's shocking. Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll stop.
For added peace of mind, I ran tests again with it wired
Or
exactly
should I amp it up? Okay, that's
how
it.
the finished product would be. So
Okay.
2 power sources leading
That's
to
enough.
absolutely legendary sparks, 5
Now it's time to generate some content.
inches long.
Now, building crazy circuits like this has only been made possible through
In fact, Gerald says he got a metal ring on his thumb, which is stupid because that's going to melt into your skin.
years of experimentation and self-learning. And one learning tool I've used for close to 4 years is Brilliant.
It's a colorful learning app with
Despite says if the voltage is low, you get used to the shock. I'm not gonna try that. You know what I used to do as a kid? I used to go down like the slide, and like there's metal bolts in the slide, and if you go down the slide enough, it'll generate like a static kind of current, and then you go down and you shock yourself with each of the bolts. I remember my finger getting real red doing that, and it hurt badly. I wasn't like an overachiever science fair kid. You know, they didn't expect much of me. They were like, he's going to be like mopping up something at some point. Yeah. And here I am. Doing this, I guess. Were they wrong? No. Rocky McCobb says Frozen stream was making me upset, so I came here. Was he crying? Was he openly sobbing again? I keep screaming at him to stop, but he just makes him cry harder, dude. That hotel, it was just tears and BO. It was terrible. I'm a chocolate chip man, too. Chocolate chip all the way. Chocolate chip. Chocolate chip. And don't put no oatmeal, no raisin, nothing like that. Chocolate chip. Hit me with a chocolate chip.
And this is the most nerve-wracking part. I have the resin poured, all the air removed from it, as you saw, and all the holes taped up on the form I want to pour it into. But
Rocky McCobb says, no, that would have made me feel better. And it probably would have given you an erection, too, you sick bastard.
I have to pour this perfectly.
Why do you feel that, like, Frozen's pain is you? Does that bring you sexual gratification? Frozen's pain? Does it? I'm just wondering. I'm not judging you.
And I only get one shot.
I want resin to do stuff with. If I got like a big thing of resin, like a big jug of resin, that'd be funny. I could do funny things with that, right? Like my wife's curling iron. I encased it in resin. There you go. Hey, do you need your car keys? Here you go. It's a big block of resin for you. It's okay. It works. You know, because you just walk up to the car and it'll know it's there. It'll still work as a key. But now you can't carry it anywhere and it's going to be really inconvenient. I could do a bunch of stuff like that. Your wife's slippers. Resified. What else? Just all kinds of things. Like seriously, all kinds of things that she like really treasures. I'd be like, I wanted to keep it safe, so I encased it in 30 pounds of resin. A big ass block of resin.
After giving the resin about 48 hours to cure,
The monkey says a cube of keys. Exactly. Right? It still works. It's still a key. You know, it's got the keyless end. You know, you don't need to like put it in the ignition. You just have it in the car and you press the button. So don't tell me I ruined the keys, right? I know how expensive fobs are, but it works. Okay? It works. It's just very heavy now. You can use it as a weapon in case you get attacked.
One last modification to help with the output.
Adding a rounded nut to both of the electrodes. This dulls the electrodes and encourages the buildup of higher voltages. And with that, the Bear Blaster 5000 is ready.
Now to find a bear.
First test in 3, 2, 1.
You know, I don't do this, but I gotta tell you, if I went through this effort and I put all that together and then like that was the result, I'd be pretty fucking proud of I would be pleased with myself. I would be absolutely delighted with myself for pulling something like that shit off, dude. I would show everybody. I would take it everywhere. The cops might have to talk to me, right? Because, you know, they'd be like, "Sir, please stop doing that. This is a target." And I'd be like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do?" And they'd run scared, I'm sure.
Oh shit.
Don't bother me. Bother the Chinese guy that's stealing all the gift cards. You know, I'm just trying to like live my taser life. You know, he's robbing the store. I'm just sitting here showing off my taser, but whatever. I know you get paid to be stupid, cops. You do. You get paid to be stupid. And I know a lot of cops do not agree with the things that they're doing, but they do them anyway because they don't want to lose their job, which makes you a bad cop. It makes you a bad cop. If you are an officer of the law and you swear an oath to uphold and protect and serve and all that, and then you get a directive from your overseeing officer who's getting it from his overseeing officer who's getting it from who knows who, interestingly enough, and then you follow that knowing that you just do not agree with what you're doing, then you are a bad cop. You are no longer a cop. You are a thug. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't know about you, but that's a thing of pure beauty right there. Look, there's no way in hell any animal would charge at you with this thing going off. It worked so much better than I actually planned for.
And in the case that an animal does decide to charge into an onslaught of electrical sparks, building a version of this into a staff for extra reach would make this a much more realistic defense tool.
Pretty cool.
Granted, not as convenient.
Numbers are important, so how much voltage is being produced? Considering the gap is about 3 3/4 inches across and it has no problem jumping the gap, it's pretty easy to calculate the voltage.
Using Passion's law and knowing the gap distance and electrode geometry, we can plug and play, though I prefer letting a machine do that for me, giving a voltage required to jump the gap of 286,000 volts. So in summary, an output of 286 kilovolts and 50 watts of power. At full charge, the battery provides about 5 minutes of arcs, after which the taser can be recharged in 15 minutes.
And as
That's going to kill you, though, right? That would kill you? 286,000 volt, that would kill you. That would kill anybody. That would kill me. That would kill a moose. Right?
an added bonus, apparently mocking a rainstorm with this gets a reaction. Come on. I challenge you. I challenge you.
Rocky Macabre says, resin head guy claimed the deposed head of a Honduras was his uncle. This was before the fellow was obligated to flee the country. Wait, he had a head encased in resin? And he said it was his uncle? It doesn't matter if it's your uncle. You're not allowed to have a head encased in resin. You know? You know? Yeah, it just seems like, why would you show people that? I mean, have it if you want. But why would you show people that? You know you're going to get in trouble.
You. It worked.
Yeah, I don't think I'll need to worry about bears ever again. And at a bare minimum, it's at least an incredible display of plasma.
Axon taser down in Arizona. If you want to
Okay, that's cool. Now let's watch these freaks. Let's just watch these freaks for a bit. All right, I want to watch the freaks. Is that okay with you guys? Can we watch the freaks? Just a little bit. Just a little bit of freaks, okay?
World called freak shows. That's right. I mean, people I think take for granted how easy it is to see all of the abhorrent, terrible people, not even disfigured, just terrible people out there in the world.
What? Not even disfigured, just terrible? Well, like, I mean, like, what do you consider disfigured? Because my qualifier for disfigured is probably a lot different from yours is.
World, right?
You know.
TikTok. Jack Doherty, that guy who messes with tourists overseas. John.
I heard he died. Did he get his head cut off? Oh God, please let him get his head cut off. Really, because I heard somebody cut his head off. And good. Please let that be true.
Ani Somali. We take for granted how crazy it is that at any time you can watch. I'll give you a link to this. I watched a guy on Instagram Reels the other day. He pulled out his tooth with a wrench. His 4 teeth left in his mouth. Horrible. You would pay money for that at a freak show. Because back in the day, people actively looked for these things.
Triple tits, the 3-breasted woman? Whoa! Talk about popular.
Wanted to have some kind of weird attraction, some kind of crazy phenomenon they could see, something to break up the mundane nature of their day-to-day life. And that's where the freak shows came in. So today I wanted to go down the dark alleys of the freak show, really see what made people tick back in the day. Because I got
all right, guys, I know this is going to get you all bricked up because you're a bunch of sickos, bunch of sick perverts, sick fucks. Okay.
I tell you, if it's anything like, it's got to be, there's no way it can be as worse as today, but we can at least see. So let's talk about the earliest freak shows, right? It feels weird too. A lot of this is just like obese men. They're like, what a freak! You have to pay a ticket to like watch a guy like eat a cupcake. They're like, oh, he's doing it.
That would be a funny thing, although it would be extremely mean. It's just like dress as like an old-timey carnival barker. And just go up to like park sloppers in like Disneyland and just set up a tent around them and sell tickets for people to see them. It would be extremely mean, but it sounds like something I would do.
Oh, he's
Step right up. You see the 33rd fattest man here. I had to do a lot of research.
50 pounds since the Great Depression. How does he do that? You fat f***. The concept of freak shows really began as early as the 1500s. These deformities used to be seen.
Okay, hold on. This big fat kid right here is like, not that one. Hold on.
And as early as the 1500s, these deformities.
Bam. I know fat people are fatter than that. You know, this is an impressive girth. It is. But come on. Not with modern science. Modern science can get you much fatter. But congratulations, sir. You must have really worked hard to get at this point in time. This is out of control. This is ridiculous. So wow.
Used to be seen as a curse or an
Okay, this is just sad.
indicator of evil spirits, but eventually turned into public curiosity. So I got back in the day, they're just like a woman with like maybe some facial hair, and they're just like, oh my God, this goddamn.
Fat Geralt says that's just an average Disney enjoyer now. It is. Wasn't Disney supposed to be for kids? I think boomers still believe that, but like Disney doesn't even believe that. Disney's like, all right, we're going for 35-year-old millennials without kids, because that's what 35-year-old millennials are, right? They don't have kids, but they have extra income because they don't have kids. And so they're going to go ahead and eat a bunch of food and drink a bunch of alcohol and watch Star Wars, because Star Wars is the coolest thing in the world. And, oh, man, that's really cool how that Mary Sue just learned how to be a Jedi without any training whatsoever. She's just naturally better. Let's just chalk it up to midichlorians. Why not? Boo, Disney. Boo to you. Boo to Star Wars. Boo to everything you lay your slimy hands on.
demon attached to that woman. Which, to be fair, if you're in
Hey, Amanda, you didn't miss anything.
1500s, you
Ever.
probably think the same thing. You're just like, I don't
Obedience says he's so egg-shaped.
trust her. Often these exhibits.
What did I... Hold on. I sent Jess a... I wanted to show you guys a thing I posted earlier. Because it was funny. I thought it was funny. And I'm gonna do it again. Oh, I sent it to Jess though, didn't I? It's in my replies. That's where it is. Ba 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 da 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 da. Really unprofessional how I run my show, but it doesn't matter because I don't give a fuck. Here we go.
To lose the remaining.
Okay. This is Dr. Now as a Jamaican.
So what one we don't know.
Hello, how are you?
Ratted, are you this? Looking like the Michelin man. So what happened? All we wanted you was to lose the remaining 59 pounds, but you turn around and gain 29 pounds. How is that? And why you show up in your pajama?
Why you show up in your pajama? Man.
I mean, I had a day that I went over the 1,200 calories.
So one bad day and you put on 30 pounds?
So you went over, okay, hold on. I know I'm doing the whole Jamaican thing, but you went over one day, you went over 1,200 calories one day, and it put on 35 pounds. How far over 1,200 calories? Was it in the millions? Was it in the millions of calories? Because I don't see how that's scientifically possible. Okay, so you're doing 1,200 calories a day, and let's say for 3 months or something like that. And then one day, some sort of like grease missile just lands in your mouth somehow, and then you just gained it all back, and you're like, damn it.
Nah, man. And why you show up looking like a hard-boiled egg with arm and legs?
Why you show up with looking like a hard-boiled egg with arms and legs? Okay. All right, doctor. All right, Dr. Jamaican now. I love you. I love you.
You know, she say your outfit no matter situation. We just can't get over the outfit where you wear. Me can't get past it. Why you wear that here? And why you know in no brassiere? That no make sense.
Why you don't have a brassiere? That no makes sense. She came comfortable, right? Because she's always comfortable. That's not, when you get to be 600 pounds, you're not wearing a lot of like, oh, this is my fancy wear. This is my good look. You know, you don't have a lot of heels in your house. And if you do, they break. They break or they pierce concrete or they do other terrible things, right? They strike oil, as the joke goes.
Yeah, I messed up.
Me want to know why me figure you any more chance. And
Let me do obedience comment here. Bumbleclot man, make your heart go boom boom, ya her.
you're going to just continuously.
I think I did a good job. I think I did a good job doing that.
I'm in your life away. You downright craving.
Okay, I won't overeat anymore.
Liar.
You told me 2 months ago you was gonna do it. And stop your ass crying, cause it tissue them dry. Listen, if you want to survive, you better take this seriously. You hear me? Cause you don't seem like...
Amanda says, once you're past 300 as a woman, you can't comfortably wipe your naughty bits. Don't ever fucking say naughty bits to me. Ever. Never. Don't say naughty bits. What are you, 6? No, come on. Say labias. And say arsehole. I don't know. Naughty bits seems so lame. I'm sorry. I don't mean to like insult you or anything like that. But naughty bits? Say clunge. Say axe wound. Say your fart cutter. Say your dusty trench. I don't know. Don't say naughty bits.
Like your focus.
If I wasn't focused, I would.
Amanda says, naughty bits.
Stop smoking.
Okay.
We are talking about. Read that cigarette. Well, you give yourself a pass.
No, I'm not giving myself a pass, but it means that I can do it.
Oh, you know you can't do it and you never try.
I didn't get fat. Oh,
No, you can't do it. You never try. Ha. Bombaclata. God, I wish this was real. I wish this was real. I wish Dr. Now was Jamaican now. I really do.
overnight.
Oh, trust me. This I know. You rejoice every time you see food ever since you was a toddler.
She said, I didn't get fat overnight. And he's like, trust me, this I know. It's so fun. My 600-pound life is a freak show, right? But it's a good freak show. It's a good freak show.
Just hope me believe it so me can't give you the surgery.
Amanda says, my pussy and booty hole is still clean and nice AF. Obedient Chia says, meat curtains. Pamunky says, axe wound. Hey, Mort. You fucking lawyer. That's not the right accent. You did it. No. I know you're from Australia, so the accent must be backwards. Right? Is that how it works? Because, like, the Coriolis effect? Yeah, that's it.
How the hell I should believe
How you doing, Mort?
And you told me this 2 months ago.
Because I'm motivated to do it. I was motivated then to do it.
Oh, boy. So what happened? Because you know, do a fat. No way you going to get the surgery if you not lose your weight. The only way you will get the surgery if somebody hold me at gunpoint. And even then, me will tell them blow me brain out. And me dead serious. You're too damn craving. You know you are.
Okay, that's very funny. That's very funny. Okay, back to the freaks.
Showcase people with a unique number of limbs.
Manda says, what the fuck does axe wound mean? What do you think it means, Manda? What on your body would resemble an axe wound?
Are those with dwarfism. For the time, this was surprising to
Background noise says oyster ditch, which I like. That's a good one.
see. And would merit paying for
Oyster
the
ditch.
chance to witness
Clean your oyster ditch. It stinks. What is this, a pearl? Ew.
it. We're talking about 1500s. The WWE with Andre the Giant.
Manda says, that's fucking stupid. Why is that stupid? It's not stupid. Okay, what is your name for it? Besides naughty bits. Naughty. What are you, a Victorian child? Naughty bits. Mama, I've soiled my naughty bits.
That was the 70s, and people would come out in droves because before the internet, it was all word of mouth, right? So you would have people be like, the guy's 12 feet tall, he weighs 4,000 pounds. And this
Amanda says clean your dick cheese, but she doesn't understand that dick cheese really isn't a real thing. It's not a real thing. I've never had dick cheese. That's not a real thing.
weird childlike optimism would go in people.
Background noise says Squishmitten. Another good one. Another good one. I don't even know what Squishmitten means. No, I guess I do. No, yeah, that's a good one. Squishmitten is good. Charlie Horse says, yes, it is, John. Yes, what is? Dick cheese, real thing? Well, you Amanda, if you're coming across dick cheese on a semi-regular basis, you need to reevaluate the men you're kind of having intercourse with. There's not supposed to be any fromage coming out from your, it's not, I have never seen anything on my penis that remotely resembled cheese, Never. Not even a sort of gunk. I mean, there's gunk that comes out of it, but that's totally intentional. That's not cheese. It's more yogurt. But,
People's heads, they'd be like, oh my God, he must be the biggest person ever. So the same thing applies with people with dwarves.
Amanda says I've been celibate for over a year. Well, fix that. Anybody want to hit Amanda? Mort? Fat Geralt? Fat Geralt said brisket sandwich. Okay, Amanda said, sleep with Fat Geralt. Toss him some of that brisket sandwich.
There are like people that are like, he's the Spider-Man. He has 8 limbs. I could see people being.
You ruined brisket for me, dude. You just, with one foul swoop, you just ruined brisket for the rest of my life. And I'm mad about that because brisket is tasty as shit. So thanks, jerk.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Here, take a chicken. Whatever they're
Amanda says, from my hoary past, yes, there is some dick cheese. God. What? How? What is dick cheese? What is its chemical makeup? Can you go to a chalkboard and give me the fucking alchemical makeup of fucking dick cheese? Where does it come from? Is it dead skin? Is it leftover jism? Is it dried urine? I don't know what it is, and I don't know how it could accumulate on your penesia. What is it? Shut your brisket sandwich.
I don't know what they're paying with back then. An early example.
Amanda says, John, dick cheese is chlamydia. Oh, see, I've never had an STD or anything like that, so. I'm learning a lot about you, Amanda. Learning a lot about you. Okay.
Example of a quote freak was Lazarus, Colorado.
Amanda says, I'm clean now. That was like 10 years ago. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Okay, congratulations. Do you get like a chip? Do you get like a 10 years sober from chlamydia chip? Do you have to go to like QAnon or something?
And his brother, Johannes, who
Not
hung up saying,
QAnon. Fucking the fucking Alcoholics Anonymous kind of, not QAnon. Maybe QAnon. I don't know.
down from his chest. This is a
I got my 10-year chip. I got my 10 free from the clap. Wow. God, now this is useless. Okay, that was dumb. I don't care.
Easy, dude. Good fucking Lord. His brother was a parasitic twin that did not speak and kept his eyes and mouth.
Fat Girl says the scientific term for it is schmegma. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Schmegma? That sounds like lava. Schmegma? Nope. I don't. This is, you're introducing information into my brain I don't want. I don't want to know the term schmegma. Okay? Send it on over to fucking brisket sandwich because she needs to throw some dick cheese onto that thing. Right? Make a whole platter.
Mouth shut. Dude, if I sat there and I saw a guy, he's like, hello, I'm...
Paul Monkey says I could encase it in resin. That would be sweet, actually. If I ever come across some dick cheese, which, God forbid, I'll be like, let me get my resin. Let me get my big jug of resin and preserve this trophy. And then just a big Sharpie across the block. Schmegma. And I'll put it on my mantle. It'll be a conversation starter.
Lazarus, this is Johannes.
Hey, Big
He's just like, he's alive, right? He's like, he...
Obedience says, how have you never heard of this, John? I don't know. A lot of the shit I do is bits. So, like, you know, you can't really believe a lot of the shit I say.
refuses to look at you. Look at me, Johannes! And he's just like...
Yeah.
Because of his condition, he was unable to make money unless it was in the form of showcasing his deformity or a freak show. Now, this is kind of a sick way. The first guy who's just like, yeah, I don't give a pay to see me.
Obedience yeah says smegma is dick cheese. It's unsashed peen skin dandruff stuff. I didn't know your cock could get dandruff. The more you know.
Look at me. It costs $1.
Charlie Horse says, what the fuck is this video even about? Well, if you look at back of the thumbnail, it says it's about medieval sleeping methods. So, you know, look around. Read the room, Amanda.
Look at me. Spectators would note that Johannes would occasionally open his eyes. Like he's just upside down. He's just like... That'd be creepy. If I was a kid, that would scare the shit. If I was a 15th century, like, Victorian child, I'd be like...
So, Amanda, have you ever gotten smegma in your eye? Would that be bad? Would you get eye cheese? Would it create its own eye cheese, or it's just in your eye at that point, and so it's like relabeled as eye cheese? You know how when the president gets onto a different plane, that plane becomes Air Force One? The same kind of situation, or what?
Hide behind my mom. The two of them even made an appearance with King Charles I in the early 60s.
Man, it says suck my meat flaps, John. Why fuck me? Why fuck me? That's a legitimate question. When you get smegma in your eye, does it create its own smegma? Like its own cheese of some variety? That's not an offensive question in any way. And if I offended you, I apologize. I did not mean for that to be offensive in any way. I'm just trying to learn, as we all are.
1640s. At one point in Lazarus' life, he was put on trial for murder after...
Man, it says I was young and dumb, and yeah, I got chlamydia. Please tell us the story. Please tell us the entire story. Please do that.
Smashing a bottle on the head of a drunken man, acting in self-defense. Dude, you definitely know that guy was just like...
Obedience says her wrestling move is the flap clap, right? It's oh god. Oh god, it's an area of effect attack, and it's 10 minus 10 toxic damage. I'm trying to like what would this roll as? Like as a D&D move, how would it? Oh, I rolled a nat 20. Oh, you died. Gross. Nah, I'll work it out.
Let me find the bacon. Let me see his cock.
I was just like, God.
Bandit says, okay, I can if you want me to. Let me go refill my drink. Fantastic. I'm ready for it. I want to hear all about the chlamydia. That's what the show is about, chlamydia now, guys. Buckle up or leave.
Damn you, sir.
Buckle up or
Like
leave.
a very well put together guy. You son of a... He was charged with a death sentence. God! Jesus. But it raised the question of whether or not it was moral to take the life of Giannis, who had done nothing wrong. Yeah, Giannis is just like...
Is it? Would it be moral? Your Siamese twin just kind of sits there on your side, right? And he's just like, he's not a bad guy, but he doesn't do anything. And like, it's really kind of getting in the way of your living your life, right? Your dating life is a nightmare. If you're a guy. If you're a girl, there's guys out there that will bang you. I know I'm going to get a clip. But, yeah, as a guy, that can be seriously. So do you kill him? Do you kill your twin brother and be like, sorry, Doug, it's over now? And then just stab him? Like that? You'd have to make sure. Here's what you do. If you stab him, you're going to bleed out too. So you wrap a rubber band around him until he just shrivels up and falls off. You know, like they do with pigs' testicles. Perfect.
Upside down. Death to Lazarus.
Big B Trucker says STDs and medieval sleeping habits didn't see these topics merging. Well, I mean, they kind of did, right? There was a lot of STDs back then, and they didn't know how to do anything about it. So everyone got them.
But keep Johannes alive somehow. He's innocent. Look at him.
Yeah, that's death sentence.
The death sentence to you.
He says that's some biblical Cain and Abel shit right there. I don't see how. I mean, it's not like, I mean, yeah, he's innocent and he did nothing wrong. And he's just sitting there like looking at you and stuff like that. But you have the control of the legs and the arms and stuff like that. And he just kind of like, he's just like a polyp. You know, like how a sponge reproduces, he just kind of like buds off. And it's like nothing personal. It's not that you don't like your brother. Maybe he doesn't talk. Maybe he does. Maybe you have long conversations at night. Still, you got to live your life. You got to live your life. And you got to be like, sorry, I'm going to wrap a rubber band around you until you shrivel up and die off. right? And then I will give you a proper burial, but then I'm going to go on and live my life as a single person.
After showing records of the two of them being baptized, Giannis was deemed to indeed have a soul.
Mando, what are you drinking? What are you drinking? What are you drinking on?
To both of their freedom. So basically just like, fine, throw the freaks in some water. He has a soul. We'll let him live. It'd be funny if the next day Lazarus just busted another bottle over another guy's head. You son of a bitch. Hit him again. Or we can talk about the history of P.T. Barnum and his infamous freak show. Even if you haven't heard of P.T. Barnum, you've probably seen, I would assume, pictures, or this is like the most infamous freak show around. This is the world famous P.T. Barnum freak show.
Also Barnum and Bailey's Circus.
Barnum and Bailey's Circus. You heard of that?
You're drinking a margarita mix thing? Amanda's drinking. So she's going to drink a margarita and tell us about the time she got chlamydia. We're all ears. We are all ears, sister. But before I had like 12 plus blue moons. You're hammered. You're hammered right now. Oh, good. Oh, good.
That, I didn't. He just said it. I've never heard of that. Really? No. Well, freak show acts technically started.
You put down 12 blue moons. You're going to be pretty hammered. And then you're going to margaritas? Okay.
16th century. It didn't begin to see widespread appreciation and popularity until the 1800s. 200 goddamn years of Lazarus beating people with bottles and Johannes being like, Oh, do you think he could speak, Johannes?
He said he couldn't speak. His mouth was shut.
He had to
Oh, there you go. He can't speak. His mouth's shut. He just looks there. You don't even know if he's got like faculties. You know, you don't know if he thinks about life and knows where he is or anything like that. It's getting a lot easier to cut off my conjoined twin, Siamese twin, frozen Asian twin. Yeah, I think I would do it. I mean, like, even if, like, I think I would be like, okay, I'm going to try to do this so you survive, but I'm not going to try, like, terribly hard. And if it, like, affects me in any way, I'm just going to go bail on it and kill you. Okay, so I will try to do it deftly enough and carefully enough so that you survive whatever you are. And then if you do survive, then you can live in some nice home where I'm sure they don't change your diaper and you just shit in the bed and they have to feed you like gruel and stuff like that. And people don't talk to you and it's really not nice. But I might just kill you. Honestly, it sounds better if I just kill you.
feed the little motherfucker on his chest, right? Johannes, eat the gruel.
Amanda, that's very sweet, but I don't think that, I mean, okay, fine. She says, I won't tell my story unless people donate to the stream. Are there any takers? Does anybody want to hear Amanda's claptrap story? Donate to the stream to confirm that you want. I don't think it's going to take much. I think $1 would satisfy her. What are you saying, Amanda? Like, would $1 do it? I don't want to donate to my own stream because that seems pathetic. But I do want to hear this story.
Lazarus has to lay on his back and like feed him up like that. It'd be a crazy session too. Can you imagine getting back shots from Lazarus and all of a sudden Johannes' hands are just like
He's feeling it, titty.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And if I was like, giving back shots and my conjoined twin went for a titty grab, I'd be like, you go, buddy. You go. I wouldn't stop him. What kind of monster do you think? Yes, I'd kill him, right? Sure. But I wouldn't stop him from groping a titty, especially if I'm giving back shots to some chick. And yeah, if she's willing to bang a Siamese, then she's into some weirder stuff than that. I think it's going to be okay. You got the green light, dude.
Like Hector Salamanca, whatever, for Breaking Bad.
Amanda says at least 25. And look at this. It's actually working. Holy crap.
Make this thing.
Oh, wait. Well, sorry. Wrong one. Here's the bell. I forgot where it was. I forgot where the bell was. My poor rusty bell. OBNTR for $5 says, I donate 5 to not hear this story. Well, it's counting towards the hearing the story. All right. So I'm counting it towards hearing the story. So we need $20 more. All right. $20 more. I understand that you donated money not to hear the story. I am purposely disregarding that and using your money towards the story.
Lazarus is like, look at me, actor.
It's not
Look at me,
45.
actor.
It's
Okay.
not 45 now. It's not. No. It's not. No, man. No.
Okay, we gotta move on. Amongst those in circus industry, P.T. Barnum was known as one of the most influential of his time. You may recognize the name for the movie The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman that definitely
Hugh Jackman's gay, right? He's gay. He's a gay guy.
no one saw. In the movie, P.T. Barnum is portrayed as a fun-loving hero that takes in people with unfortunate abnormalities and celebrates them. But in reality, P.T. Barnum was an incredibly selfish man that took advantage of people around him from the very start of his career. Of course, the 1800s fucking freak show runner is not a good guy. I like how people are like, what, P.T. Barnum wasn't a good guy? He's like, Dolphin Boy, get in the tank! He's like, I actually don't know how to swim. Get in the fucking tank! His name was Phineas Taylor Barnum, and he was born in 1810 and proved himself to be a natural entrepreneur.
I've never met a good guy named Phineas.
Before he was 21, he was publishing his own newspaper and running a general store, as well as a lottery business. How the f do you start that? Buy a ticket. I'll call some numbers later. Maybe you'll win. It's like, yeah, I trust you. He entered the world of entertainment at 25 when he bought the rights to the exhibit of an elderly African-American singer named Joyce Heath. She claimed to be the 161-year-old nurse of George Washington.
Maybe people lived a lot longer back then. Here, the thing about like the 1700s and the 1800s is, people drank every single day. They drank day after day, hour after hour. They were constantly bombed. Everyone, even the children, were constantly loaded. You think I'm kidding? Look it up. Look up the stats, dude. They drank alcohol they would drink a bottle of whiskey every day per person. Like a 750 of fucking Jack Daniels every day per person. It was like part of their stipend, right? Everyone was bombed all the time. And that's not just that was like all through history too. People just like getting bombed and there's nothing else to do. People don't do it that much these days because we have like computers where we talk to each other. Like game, it's socialized, but not be in the same room as each other. This is why the population is collapsing. It's because we're all sitting behind these stupid screens, getting drunk in our own rooms, right? Manda is over there lonely, like thinking about her chlamydia days fondly, I'm sure. And like, no one's there to slap a batch at her because we're all separated. It's kind of lame. But what are you going to do? It's basically illegal to hang out with people. They made it illegal to drink and drive, which is ridiculous because there's parking lots at the bar. So what do you expect me to do? Park my car at the bar and then what? Just go into the bar and then look around and then go back to my car and drive home? That's retarded. That's absolutely retarded. No. So they made it basically illegal to live in this country and like have a good time. It sucks. It's a bummer. That's only our generation, by the way. Back like 30, 50 years ago, like in the 70s or something like that, a DUI might have been a $20 ticket. Might. But most people would be like, get out of here, you kook. You get out of here. Drive right past that school zone as fast as possible. This is a GT, right? Fucking floor it. They're like, thanks, officer. Yeah, people died. Skill issue. Skill issue. That's what I say. Skill issue.
Word? While many believe this claim was laughable, Barnum's impeccable marketing skills.
Amanda says, you're not wrong, John. I'm always Alano. I understand. I remember the Alano.
Made her a cultural phenomenon. It's kind of interesting. The guy's just like, yeah, people will laugh at you, but like, there's gonna be some people who are like, really? Even today, if someone's just like, I knew George, he was my neighbor. There's gonna be some guy like, oh.
Manda says, I would love to have sex, but I don't trust men on dating apps anymore. No shit. Because that's like murder central dating. Like, don't. And men, don't trust women on dating apps. You will get murdered or something terrible will happen to you. But even if everything goes swimmingly, that chick has been bombed out by like 30 other dudes on the same app. So I'm just saying, don't use dating apps. They don't work. They don't work. And they're going to destroy your expectations. If you want to meet a girl or meet another person or whatever, leave your fucking house. Leave your fucking house. Get out. Get in your car and then put your seatbelt on, right? Because I imagine you've had a few. And then just drive as fast as you can through the school zones and go and meet somebody. Really, it's not that hard. It's intimidating. I understand that. It is intimidating. But there's only one way to actually do it, and you can't really do it on the internet. It's not feasible. It's just not feasible. I met Jess at an open mic. I was a comedian. I'm just kidding. I hope she's not watching. I was a comedian, and I was a very good one. And so, yeah, that's how we met. Not online, not through Tinder, not through anything gay like that. Real face-to-face and like I was like, you are attractive, I'm attractive, let's get this going. And it did, and it worked.
Are you fucking kidding me? What was he like? Was he cool? You're like, it's been 200 years, sir. It's been almost 300 years.
Also, I think people would be like, oh.
Background noise says, I hear drugs work best for meeting women. Yes, that is true. Some women, now I've heard this is the case, but I hear some women absolutely fucking adore cocaine. With everything they have in their souls, they love cocaine. But I don't know if that's true. Definitely not all women, but a certain type. You'd be like, hey, I saw you from across the bar, and I thought you might like some cocaine. And then she'll be like, I'm flattered. And yes, let's go have sex in the bathroom. And then there you go. There you go. There you go. And then you get Amanda's chlamydia story right there. That's it. I nailed it, didn't I? I nailed it. Didn't I? Didn't I?
That's preposterous. I got to buy a ticket to prove them wrong.
Yeah,
Amanda says it's literally impossible for women to meet good men nowadays. That's not true. Am I a good man? I mean, shut up. Because I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be all like fucking snappy and be like, man. No. I mean, we met, God, it was like 7 years ago now. So maybe not these days, but even back then it was rough. So I just don't think that's true. I think your standards are a little high. I think there's a lot of factors at play. Is it difficult? Sure, of course. Is it impossible? No. No, it's not. Not impossible. Difficult? Yeah, I believe that.
exactly. I'm going to go and mock them to their face. And it's just going to be like,
Pamunky says church is nice if you find the right one. Yeah, you think there's a bunch of single people at church? There's not. There's really not a lot of single people at church. There are people at church that have like single nephews and stuff like that. They'll try to set you up. That is risky because they're usually not very good looking. And like, it's kind of a blind date situation. And like, that can be, I understand how church would be a good place to meet a nice girl. I understand the whole connotation with that and stuff like that. But what looks good on paper isn't necessarily good in real life. But it's worth a shot. It's better than sitting on the computer. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that a million. Because you know why? You try to hook up with chicks on, like, say, Instagram or something like that, and send her a message, say, I think you're cute, and I would like to take you out on a date. And then you'll get fucking crickets. Because you know why? Because she posts cute pictures of herself. A lot of them nudes, probably. And then she gets that from a million Indians all day long. Millions and millions of Indians. And they are horny. Like, they're a type of horny you wouldn't even understand. As a normal, rational Westerner, you wouldn't understand the level of horniness that Indians hit. Like, it's so no, it's not possible. On the internet, it's not possible. I'm actually an Indian inside of this, right? And hello? No, thank God I'm not a fucking Indian. I'd kill myself.
Be like probably like a 65-year-old woman who's just like, she wins you over. Hello. Oh, she's very nice. He had her working 10 to 12 hours a day. He had her working 10 to 12 hours.
Amanda says last guy to DM me on Instagram was an Indian man who asked me if I was a Latina model. LOL. See? Horny. That's extremely horny. It's very horny.
Days until she eventually died at the age of 80. Barnum exploited her to the very end, publicly displaying her autopsy for 50 cents to reveal her actual age as a final performance. What a dick, dude. 200-year-old woman, come see how old she really is. It's just like, she was 80. You got duped! The exit's right over there. In 1841, Barnum
80?
created the Barnum's American Museum in New York City, which began the golden age of the freak show. This is eerily similar to Zach Baggins. Is it not? He starts off as a ghost hunter, and all of a sudden, now he has a haunted museum. What's going to be next?
Amanda says I should have fed into it. Now, why would you say that, Amanda? Why would you say that? Why would you say you should have fed into it? Would that really be a productive use of your time? Getting drunk and then catfishing an Indian guy? I mean, if you're extremely bored, sure, but like you really got to think. You got to use your time wiser. Like you just got to use your time wiser, right? You don't have that kind of time. You don't have the time to sit around and fucking troll Indians into thinking you're a big booty Latina. Again, I could see the humor in that because that would be hilarious. And they would be like, oh, Bob's Virgin. Bob is in Virgin. It's show Bob's. Virgin. I don't know how Indians talk. It's pretty much like that. Go out. Get outside. Go. Get an Uber because you seem hammered and go to a bar tonight. And then see if you can get somebody to hit your claptrap, your beef sandwich, your thing downstairs. Your naughty bits. Do it. Do it.
That is going to be next, actually.
What if he actually captures a real ghost?
I was going to say he starts a brothel.
Oh.
Zach Bagan's Suck and Fuck Festival. You can come suck my if you want and get haunted. I don't know. The exhibits consisted of various items, like taxidermied animals and fake historical artifacts. They were often referred to as dime museums.
Charlie, Amanda says, John, I can't. I'm too insecure. You've had 12 blue moons, and you're drinking margaritas right now, and you're telling me you're insecure? You were about to tell us about the time you got clapped 10 years ago. How insecure are you? I think you're kind of crazy, but like insecure, no. If you feel insecure, here's one thing you can do to make you feel not secure at all. You will have the confidence of a prince walking through the town square. I'm telling you right now, you go out to get laid. Before you do that, you thoroughly clean your asshole. Your asshole needs to be clean. Sparkle. Because once you go, and like the dude goes to hit it, you're going to the first thing he's going to see is that little brown eye. Right? He's going to wink at him. Right? Wink at him. And if it's got a bunch of, it's going to make you feel all insecure. All right? That's your problem. Right? Hose that bad boy down. Okay? Good. Kiss.
One historical artifact was a trunk of a tree that Jesus and his disciples supposedly sat under. He's like, that's it. I think he sat like this.
Amanda says my eyes are hazel. Okay, sweetie. You just keep rolling with that.
Yes.
So you're retarded too. Which is great. Which is honestly, I mean, like, it's good. If you're a girl, be retarded. Because, like, it's not attractive when women are intelligent. It's not. I know it doesn't happen ever. But, like, if women are like, I'm really intelligent and stuff like that, you're not. It's much cuter when you're stupid. I'm just saying it is. It is. It really is. Just act like your normal dumb girl self and then clean your asshole. And that's it. right? Because men like to feel like protectors. And like, if you like accidentally wander into traffic, he's going to feel like he's needed. You know, be like, oopsie doodle, I'm a dum-dum. Do it. I swear to you, you're going to be like, I can't believe this. I can't believe it. I'm giving you gold here, and you should be writing it down like Frozen does.
Yeah.
How'd they get that from Jerusalem?
It's a dime. Yeah, how'd you bring that over from Jerusalem? Don't worry.
Ardenshire says, rule of thumb, if you see bits of corn, it's not made for porn. It's very good. Write that down, Manda.
Worry about it. The hot guy helped me. It's like a guy with like covered in feathers. Another was known as Fiji Mermaid, rather than being the mummy.
Big B says, don't be all learned and uppity. Yeah, it's not attractive. Intelligence is a masculine trait, all right? So if you come to the bar trying to act all masculine, you're obviously not going to get a lot of play, right? That's just, if a dude goes and like acts all feminine and shit like that, I don't know, sits down to pee at the urinal, you think he's going to, no, just act stupid. Okay, fine, you're not stupid. Just act stupid then. Act ditzy and retarded and shit. And men will find that cute. I promise you, they will. It's very endearing.
Mummified remains of an actual mermaid. It was simply the torso and head of a monkey sewn to the back of a fish.
Mayo says, I think I need to drink a couple. Do it, brah. Do it. We already got Manda. Oh, okay. All right, bitch. I see you. Amanda coming in hot with $50 says, I'm not retarded. Okay, fine. You're not retarded.
I've heard of this one. The monkey
Thank
thing,
you for the
it looks
$50.
right.
I appreciate the $50. I'm not saying you're retarded, Manda. I'm saying to act retarded. Act retarded. Act like you're fucking stupid. Act like a goddamn moron. Like, seriously, if you could wear the shoes on the wrong foot, it would help. If you have a helmet just laying around, wear it to the bar. Because men will love that and find it sexy as fuck. I'm telling you.
Rad. Looks very cool. P.T. Barnum's like he's actually a master crafter, and they're just like, you should just become an artist. He's like, no! I'm a showman, you see. I have to make my money my only way I can. It's like impeccable work. P.T. Barnum, while incredibly talented, was very driven by...
Big B says, I thought we were all retarded. I feel lied to. Well, I mean, we are. In our own special way. Amanda, I will tell Jess you love her, right? I've told her everything you've told me. And yeah, she's unfortunately not into banging you. So barking up the wrong tree with that one, but it's a nice try. But go out, remember, act like a retard. Clean your asshole. Don't be so stingy with your pussy. What? What? Amanda gave me $50. I'm gonna be in trouble. Oh, you guys are fucking ruining my life.
Agreed, and was often quick to exploit and deceive people for financial gain. He was commonly
Amanda says, that's okay, I just want to sniff her. Fine, I'll send you some of her panties, I guess.
attributed with the phrase, there's a sucker born
$50
every minute. That's a fucking good phrase, though, isn't it? For like a seedy, like, there's a sucker born every minute just for me to penny pinch him. His unapologetic exploitation can be highlighted with the biggest breakout exhibit, his human curiosities, consisting of individuals with rare conditions or physical deformities. This would become what is known as the freak show. The performers were marketed as freaks of nature or...
The fuck is this? Some octopus chick? Does she walk with those? Is there another? Why do you put socks on it? Why is there boots and socks on it? Why would you do that? Does it need boots? Were they cute? When you walked into the shoe store and you were like, what? They were like, what size? And then, I'm sorry. What the fuck? What the fuck? Is that a child inside of you? Oh my God.
Or simply freaks. Which now we can finally get into the freak show acts, dude. Let's actually start looking at what these people are. Starting with General
Boots and socks,
Tom
boots and
Thumb.
socks.
Born in 1838, Charles Stratton lived with pituitary dwarfism, meaning his body was unable to properly produce growth hormones. This heavily impaired his development as Bula. Have you seen the video of Mike Tyson?
You know, there's some like foot fetish guys that would be like, wow, 4 feet? I'm into that. Amanda, do you have nice feet? Do you have nice feet? Are your feet like not too gross? This is a legitimate question. Because there are here's the thing. Your feet, it doesn't have to be like a foot fetish guy, but if you have gross feet, that's going to be a turnoff. Right? So if you do have gross feet, just keep them under wraps, right? Keep closed-toed shoes on and stuff like that. It's not a big enough of a deal for most guys where it's like a deal breaker. But if you have like gross-ass hobbit feet, that's going to be like, ugh, right? Asshole, retard, feet. All right?
In kissing Hasbulla. How creepy is that?
Amanda says my feet are really cute. Fantastic. Good. Work with that. Go in barefoot, right? And just be like, oh, oopsie, I forgot my shoes. Will you buy me a drink? It'll work.
And he's like, I thought he was a kid. That's what I do to kids.
I don't know, man.
Amanda says I've sent a guy my feet pics for money before. Don't mention that. Don't mention that. Don't mention any sort of sex work or whoring around or anything like that. Okay? Don't mention that. Don't mention your chlamydia story. Don't. Okay? Really, you should listen to the things I'm telling you, Amanda. You should really, really listen to the things I'm telling you.
That's how I am with children. Yeah, I didn't know if you actually knew.
Size 11? That's a big foot. You got a big foot. That's a big. It's a size 11 women's, I assume. I have a size 11 foot. For like a men's 11. So you must have a big foot. Yeah. Hog Dog says size 11. Oh my God. Def, keep them behind your ears. That works too. Can you do that, Manda? Can you? We're giving Manda dating advice. And I think she's learning something. You're going places, Manda.
Oh, good for
You're going to put your feet behind your ears, and then you're going to act all ditzy and retarded. Act. You don't have to be retarded. Just act like one. And then clean the bee hole. Make sure it's spotless.
Ooh, like 26 years old.
I didn't know he was 30.
Yours is good, honey.
He had stopped growing at 6 months old and only grew to a maximum of 3 feet 4 inches in his lifetime. It's kind of tall. Taller than Hasbulla, right? When P.T. Barnum was made aware of this man's condition, he saw an opportunity.
You're double jointed? Is that a real thing where you're double jointed? Can you do that? Can you like bend your knees backwards? Like an alien? That's cool. Well, that's probably a selling point. Get your cutest clothes on, your cutest dress. Put something on your dogs, your feet, right? And then I have full faith in you. I really do.
His parents let him take Stratton under his wing in order to turn him into an entertainer. Now they're just like, let me take your baby, man, and I'll be able to produce gold with him. They're like,
this guy's retarded. He looks like the guy from Game of Thrones. Who is that wizard? The wizard guy. Sam.
No.
Sam.
Was this? I don't know.
Sam.
I know who you're talking about.
Sam. Wasn't Sam.
okay. I imagine the 1800s too, they're just like, you could have just walked in and grabbed him. Take him off my back, literally. He's on my back like a seed tick. Because of his abnormal height, finding a job was no easy task. So he took him up on his offer at only 4 years old. That's actually, I thought he was a full-grown man. He's just a child. How do you even know that there's something wrong with him? It was the size of a goddamn, like a volleyball. Let me take your ball, child. 1840. How did he hear about him?
He must have been walking by. Ooh, ooh.
Oh my good God! Look at you, little man. I'm 4. That's the strangest 4-year-old I've ever seen. He learned to.
Manda says I can lick my own toes. So is anybody in the chat willing to take Manda? I mean, I feel like she's trying to sell herself here, besides the whole clap story. She's got a size 11 foot. She's not retarded, but she will act retarded. She can put her toes up to her mouth and lick them. What else can you do? How desperate are we talking here, Amanda? How desperate? Like, are you willing to take on debt?
He learned to sing and dance while dressed in elaborate outfits. He was also known for his impersonations of famous people and was regarded as a talented comedian. He had talent. He's just like, stop doing the Rockefeller impression and get back in your monkey outfit.
You can do a deep throat impression. So you like talk like this? Is that what you? Yeah. Hi, Amanda. I have a size 11 foot. Is that what you mean when you say I can deep throat? Hi, Amanda.
God damn it! Under his stage name, General Tom Thumb, toured with Barham for 3 years and made a fortune from his success.
Yeah, go ahead and keep that one to yourself too. Keep the I can deep throat one to yourself. You're trying to put forward a kind of innocent facade. That's why the whole retard shtick works, right? Don't be like, I was a rampant whore and I can lick my toes and put your balls in my mouth after the cock. You know, impressive, right? But show them that afterwards. And then I'll be like, bueno. I assume he's a Spanish dude. Because, let's be honest.
Yes, he even joined Barnum as a business partner. Damn, this looks like we're getting in there. In 1884.
Amanda says I'm nowhere near innocent. Yeah, I know. You're pretending, bitch. Come on. You're pretending. You're pretending. Really?
Barnum even went on tour to Europe, bringing Stratton along to perform.
Hog Dog says Juan Pablo. That's probably his name. His name is probably Juan Pablo.
In front of Queen Victoria. Stratton passed away from a stroke in 1883 at the age of 45. It was reported that 10,000 fans attended his funeral. That's actually kind of sick. I mean, like when I heard the 4-year-old
10,000 fans in 1840 something. That's good. That's good.
Thing, I was like, that's crazy, but don't get me wrong, he exploited the shit out of it.
Mayo Riot says I'll take one for the team. Mayo says he'll put a little mayo on that beef brisket sandwich. If you know what that means. I don't think you do, but it means he's gonna fuck you. I'm doing it. I'm like Cupid, guys. I'm making miracles happen. I'm getting bitches laid, right? I'm doing other stuff, I assume.
Of them. But it seemed like they were actually like in cahoots with the.
That's what I put on my resume. I assume I did some stuff. They're like, you're hired. I like your balls. I was like, thanks. They are nice.
Each other, or, he seems like he got a good cut of the pie. Hopefully, even the smallest cut of the pie would be pretty big for him. Okay. Next up, we have the Bearded Lady. One of the most iconic staples of the old school circus freak show.
Though these are entirely too common these days. I see bearded ladies all the time. They're wearing flannels. They're like 5'2". They act tough, but they're kind of stupid. Yeah, I see them all over the place. They're called like Chet and Chad and Tyler and Elliot and like gay names. And if any men out there have those names, go buy something else.
Was the Bearded Lady, a.k.a. Annie Jones.
Amanda says Mayo has a beautiful penis. It's working out. I am so impressed with myself. I know I say this a lot in the mirror every morning, in fact. But I am so impressed. I'm looking at myself right now. I am so impressed with you, you handsome devil. You're really changing lives. And I think you're really going to end up running this shit one day. Keep doing what you're doing, beautiful. Kisses.
Born in Virginia in
1865,
1865, it was reported that she came out of her mother's womb with a chin covered in hair. Her money-hungry family sought to make money off of their daughter, sending her off to P.T. Barnum's New York.
It's okay to be Christian says that's just an Indian lady. Oh my God, they are. There's some Indian chicks that are hot. There are some Indian chicks that are hot, But there's also like the ghastly rest of them. Like there is some real, very impressively ugly Indian chicks. But I mean, I guess that goes for all races. There's ugly chicks in all races, but there's beautiful chicks only in certain races. White is an obvious one. Japanese girls can be very cute. I'm not into Japanese girls, but they can be. I would say like Polish and Russian, like Eastern, but they're white too. So Europeans are my preference. Are my preference, but yeah, I guess I can't. Indians can be cute. Japanese, yeah. Yeah, I guess I can't name that many.
Exhibit before she was even a year old.
What is up with these parents?
P.T. Barnum was just, he's like goddamn Professor Xavier. He just is like getting like all these like wayward kids. And he's like, well, I have a school for you to be a freak in.
Okay. Amanda says, oh, I know I will. I'm funny and I have a nice ass. Don't be the funny chick. Don't be the funny chick. It's disgusting. Don't be the funny chick. Don't be the funny chick. Oh my God. Don't be the funny chick. Don't. I don't even know what else to say about that, but just don't, dude. It's seriously gross. And it's like it's not okay. It's like the funny girl in the group is the most annoying one in the group. And she's usually the least attractive. And then she tries to get a laugh, but it's just embarrassing. And it's embarrassing for the people watching too. Don't do that. Don't try to be funny. Even if you are funny, fine, I'll give it to you. You are funny. Don't ever show that to anybody. You keep that to yourself. No. You keep that to yourself because it is wildly unattractive, right? No one's breaking down Amy Schumer. Well, she's not funny, but that's pretty much as funny as a girl you're going to get because none of them are funny. I guarantee you, you may think you're funny. Just don't do it. But for the love of God, please do not do that. Please don't be like, I'm going to go yuck it up and bag me a mint. It won't work. It won't work.
My friend? My God, she was showcased in his museum and became a big hit. At a year old? I mean, behind a glass case, we were just like, ew. P.T. Barnum's just like, good girl.
Hogdog says, don't be a woo girl either. Oh, yeah. Woo! Party! Woo! That depends. That depends because some guys are looking for an easy kill. And the woo girl, them's easy pickings. She's down. Okay, I'm just saying. So if you want to be like, I'm down, and let the whole bar know, being a woo girl is quasi-acceptable. Is it annoying? Of course it is, right? Not as annoying as the funny one. Oh, good. The funny one's here. Everyone, back up. She's going to do her tight five. And then, yeah, that's really going to let it, yeah. No. Be a woo girl before you be the funny one. Please, for the love of God. Really? Because I'd rather you be retarded drunk than, I would way rather you be retarded drunk. Like a million more times than you be the funny one. That's disgusting.
Girl, he's an apple. Everyone's just...
How about rules for men? We make the rules. What are you talking about? Rules for men? That doesn't even make sense. Who would enforce them? We're the men. But okay, fine. I'm going to humor you. We're going to play a little devil's advocate. Please enlighten us. Pitch us a rule that men would would behest them to follow. Please, I'm willing to hear it.
You honest to me? Barnum offered her mother a weekly rate of $150 for a...
Big B Trucker, get a Downs gal noted for Frozen. That's not a bad way of going. Some of them can be cute. And you know what? They already got the retarded thing going. That's adorable. That's adorable. I'm just saying, right? You don't want a bitch that's like constantly correcting you. Actually, a kilometer is actually 3.2 blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. You can shut the fuck up now, okay? Oh, but I got a joke for you. I'm gonna strangle you. Right? No jokes, no corrections, nothing like that. Look, there's a lot of guys in here that desperately need to get laid, but I can't give them rules. You know why? Because it's really hard for guys to get laid. Women have an innate advantage to getting laid just by the fact they have the whole, what was it called? The oyster ditch? The oyster ditch was a good one. Just because they have an oyster ditch, they already are way above. It's like being in the retard leagues or something. It's like being at the Special Olympics. You're gonna win. You're gonna get a participation trophy at least. Okay, at least. Men, however, it doesn't really matter about the rules for men, because if you don't have like the genetic basis, the intellectual basis, the comedy chops, because being funny as a man does work, you're not going to get laid, period. Right? It's also a financial basis, but that's not exactly all that important in a one-off kind of deal. So rules for men don't really make sense. All the guys know the rules. All right? They just can't adequately follow them. Women, if you just don't violate these certain things, then you will take one home very easily. It's a different game. See, when you say, what about rules for men? You're not understanding the entire, like, the social dynamic between the sexes, And that's probably why you want to make jokes and stuff, and you be the funny one. You don't do that. Don't do that, right? It's cringy.
3-year contract. Damn, that must have been good money, right? Holy shit.
A lot of money.
Hogdog says pearl chasm of infinite death and bad choices. Yeah, see, I know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about a vagina. That's how you do a euphemism.
Annie would contrast her masculine features by dressing in extravagant dresses, and even honed her musical skills with the mandolin to elevate her performance. At one point, Annie helped Barnum out as nanny to his children. While she was caring for them, a phrenologist from New York kidnapped her.
I think that's a blood.
Manda says, I just want a subservient man who will let me fuck him when I feel like it. That's all men. That's literally every single man. Provided you provide a certain amount of luxury to his life. You can have that. You absolutely can. But you're going to have some trade-offs. And you also can't, don't be funny. Don't be gross. Don't be correcting people all the time. Don't fucking nag. Okay? That's a tough one for a lot of bitches. Don't nag. It doesn't help the situation.
A fucking vampire doctor came in and fucking stole her. This man...
Pamunky fucking... this is... blowjobs and Sammys. That's all he needed to say. I feel stupid now. I feel stupid because I'm being too verbose. I'm using too many words to describe a very simple idea. Blowjobs and Sammys. Wear a fucking sign that says, come back to my house, fuck me, and I'll make you a sandwich. You will have a line follow you out the door like the goddamn Pied Piper. I'm just saying, you're overcomplicating it. Don't overcomplicate it. And then you get insecure. And then you're insecure and you're like, why can't I find a man? And then you think they want things that they don't want. Right? They don't want the funny girl. They don't want the smart girl. You know, they don't want, blowjobs and Sammy's work. I'm just saying.
Him to steal her and add her to his own sideshow exhibit. What? Desperate for the same success, he even claimed Annie was his child. I mean, she can talk. I mean, what? Unless they're all like Giannis.
Amanda says, I love doing BJ's and making Sammy's. Well, here's what you do then. You make a grilled cheese sandwich. You hold it on a plate. You put 3 billiard balls in your mouth. So it's like like those old fucking circuses. Like that. So they know you're willing to have things in your mouth that you're not comfortable with. And then you just walk around. And the billiard balls will keep you from making jokes, which will drive men away immediately. So, I mean, that's a good way of doing it too. You got a sandwich. You got your mouth stuffed with something, keeping you from talking, but also exhibiting your ability to stuff your mouth with things. Why are you not out there right now? I feel like we're giving you gold. Absolute fucking pickup artist gold. Why are you not out there?
Feverishly braiding hair.
Amanda says I have a whole BTS and BDSM kit too. Again, keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. When they come back, then you can show that to them. If they're into that, which they probably will be, that's fine. But keep it to yourself in the meantime.
Fortunately, things were settled in court, and she was returned to her parents. Oh, good.
Rocky McCobb says, I want a retarded slut with big tits, a fat ass, and a weird face. Everyone has their flavor. All right? And I'm not judging Rocky for his flavor. I'm very much a face guy. I like pretty girls. I like pretty girls. That's my thing. But weird faces work too. If they got a rockin' bod or something like that, weird faces work too.
Good. How old was she at this point?
She was watching Barnum's Kid at 8 years old.
O'Neill says Charlie Horse likes pegging twinks. Do you, Amanda? Do you like pegging twinks? No judgment here. There's absolutely no judgment. We're just trying to help you. And, the more information we get, the better we can help you. But I also do feel like we're giving really good tips.
When she like P.T. Barnum's just like, keep the whole house under, don't worry, we're in a bad part of town, watch my kids please.
It's okay to be Christian says she needs John on the earpiece feeding her lines. Like Cyrano de Bergerac from a fucking Romeo and Juliet. I'm just like giving her lines. Suck his dick. No matter. No jokes. Bail. I hear her running up for a punchline. I'm like, no. No, just say "dur" and take a sip.
Please, she's 8 years old with a full beard. She was one of the first to campaign against the usage of pejorative word freak as a way to refer as sideshow performers. Sadly, she died of tuberculosis in 1902 at the age of 37. Damn, dude. It's kind of sick, though, dude. All these people actually have some kind of, they're well-adjusted, respectable people trying to make positive change, both Stratton and...
Amanda says, I used to work at a sex shop. Keep it to yourself. Keep that... Here, it's fine. The more information we have, the better we can help you. When you go to the bar, you keep that to yourself. Okay? Keep that to yourself. Also, glasses help. Like, do you wear glasses? Your profile's wearing glasses. Wear your glasses to the bar.
And Annie here had positive action.
They help make your face more symmetrical. That's a real thing. That's a real fact. That's not me being sexist.
Even at such a young age.
But I am super sexist.
Being taken away from your family like that? Are you fucking kidding me? And then P.T. Barnum's just like, what do you mean? Freak isn't derogatory.
That's what you are. You're a freak.
It's just what you are. You're a freak. If I was fat, would it be rude to call me fat? Which now it is, I guess. Okay, never mind. Chang and...
So, I call people fat all the time. Like, all the time.
Ang, the original Siamese twins. Chang and Ang Bunker were born in Thailand in 1811, conjoined at the sternum with both of their livers fused together. Aside from this, they completely separate organs. Wow, the only thing combining them was just their livers? That's kind of f***ed, right? They had begun touring as a sideshow attraction with a man named Robert Hunter in 1829, going to Boston, London, and New York. They were very successful, and even got to perform for the Prince of Siam. The f*** is Siam at?
Siam.
What's Siam? God, dude, I don't know shit, dude. I'm dumb as fuck. Editor, I don't know. after that,
Mart says, how else would they know they were fat if no one told them? Well, they buy, I mean, okay. If they have to look at chairs before they sit on them, you might be fat. If you have to go to a store and ask the lady if they have a certain size, you might be fat. If you go to a roller coaster and they say, we can't close the bars, you might be fat. If you get sweaty eating ice cream, you might be fat. I could go on.
they decided to buy a plantation in North Carolina.
What?
Investing a fortune in the importation.
Mandaro says, Frozen is licking my clit right now. I doubt that. I severely doubt that.
Of goods. They both got married and had 21 kids between them.
Big B Trucker, if you can only buy sweatpants, you're fat. There you go.
Oh my god.
Damn! I want to become a fucking freak, man. I need to get my life on track. Are you kidding me? Holy hell.
They were probably making good money. Is that what he's just saying? Yeah, they were making probably sweet money. And, you know, some people have certain detractments from life, so, certain curses. And so them getting if you're a fucking freak and like people laugh at you when you're walking down the street, you deserve a big house, in my opinion. You do. You absolutely do.
Purchasing 18 slaves to take care of their massive family. Well, you know, it was a different time. You know. In 1860, they signed with P.T. Barnum in order to have a wax sculpture of them displayed at his New York museum. They worked together for only
Why is one shorter than the other?
a short time. Chang and Ang struggled after the Civil War, no longer being able to rely on slave labor. Different time. Their plantation began turning very little profit, prompting them to consign themselves to the life of the circus with Barnum once more.
That's a bummer. See, you guys, everyone's always like, oh, slavery's so bad. Well, what about these conjoined twins that had slaves? And then now they have to go work, be gawked at by people? You know, it was just better when they owned human beings. Right? Now they became slaves. See, no one ever thinks about like the implications, you know.
Just like, sorry, looks like you had to get rid of your helpers, huh? You want to go on the road? Chang Bunker died in 1874 due to cerebral blood clot after failing to perform an emergency separation surgery. Ang Bunker died as well 3 hours later. That is.
Yeah, you bleeding out, right? And how much? Social Observer.
Brutal.
You missed a lot, Social Observer. I'll give you the bell, but you missed a lot, brah. Social Observer for $10 says, just got here. What did I miss? Thank you so much for the $10. You're going to need to rewatch this one. It was about dating tips.
Well, dude. All because they didn't want to do the surgery?
No, what happened was Chang died because of the cerebral blood clot. So then they were like, we need to cut you off because you're going to die
so they
with
failed.
him.
They failed to perform.
No, Amanda, he didn't miss your chlamydia. He dodged it.
Yeah.
So they tried to do it, but he died 3 hours later. I see. Cut me off of this bastard. Get him off!
We've been watching Freaks and also talking about medieval sleep patterns. I know. It's like day wave night. Kind of. Only it's just with me. So it's even more manic. It's even weirder. There's no one to keep us on track. It's just me. Being crazy.
Or we can talk about Isaac Sprague. Sprague. I think it's
And
Sprague.
yeah, dating
the
tips.
living skeleton. Isaac W. Sprague.
It's 10 o'clock. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to premium because I need to polish up a little bit of premium. But I'm only going to do that for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes or something like that. But I hope the rest of you who do not pay premium or are a sub to my channel, which is like the fuck, I hope you guys have a good weekend and stay strong and stay happy, stay healthy, make me proud, do all those things. I will